A blind knight that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon keep, endangered by combatants, where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, or don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. Engage with other prisoners.
Rogue Knight I've been hearing about. Could you find the key and unlock my cell?
Free them to fight back with more allies.
Let's take this guy.
The Dungeon Labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom.
Presentation.
Good evening, folks, and welcome to Portland. This is the Venom Truck Series on a Tuesday night, and our very own Tommy Cook named this race tonight. It is the 190 million millimeters of Stumptown from Portland International Raceway. 60 laps on tap here tonight. You might notice that Mr. Tommy Cook didn't do our intro here tonight. Well, that could be because there is a very special entrant on the racetrack this evening. It is the 20 of Mr. Tommy Cook. Tom, we'll throw it to you. How's it looking out there on the racetrack?
Oh, it is just a beautiful day out here in Stumptown. Excited to be here at this just barely a tick under 2 mile in length road course. There is nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. Just how I like it, baby. These drivers aren't going to know what hit them into turn number one.
Yeah, I'm not sure anybody's going to know what or who hit them into turn number one, but somebody will be hit, that's for sure.
Yes.
So we'll speak with you throughout the night, but you were top 10 in practice, so I think we're going to have to let you do your thing and work your magic out there on the racetrack. Let's take a look at the points real quick. After, not last week, but 2 weeks ago at Las Vegas. Of course, last week was the Venom Night of All-Stars. But after Las Vegas, Matt Schlosser still atop the points. John Kay, Zach Lockett, Andy Poliski, all pretty tight here, all within 10 points, fighting for second. Chad Stearns, Josh Monachek actually tied for the top 5 in points right now. They're in the 5th spot. Andy Ducato, Brody Gunter, Jan Van Leer, and Josh Freed are technically your top 10, but also Garrett Rainey is technically in your top 10 as well. He is tied in points there with Josh Freed. Jordan Giordano, Steve Vroman, Austin Holyfield, and Jack Watts are your top 15. Coming into the road course, that could shake things up for some drivers. Look at some drivers like Chad Stearns, a couple others that aren't necessarily road course ringers by any means. And then you got some others that are very, very good on the road courses. Of course, I think Brody Gunter probably the very much the favorite coming into tonight. I think you could put it that way. So Tommy, you've been out there on the racetrack. You put in some practice with some of the drivers last night as well. Is there some overall thoughts about the truck and the racetrack here tonight? What's the sentiment among the drivers coming into the night?
Well, certainly there's a lot of very slow, tight, just meandering corners. And it is a clockwise circuit, and for a track that turns right a lot, this truck doesn't really want to turn right. Well, I should say the back of the truck really wants to turn right. And you got to turn left to turn right if you're the back end of the truck. So it's a handful, to say the least. The left-hand turns, not very cooperative either, but for the opposite reason, the front end of the truck doesn't want to turn. Basically, you have to be up on this wheel, Ryan Newman style, for the next 60 laps if you want a shot to even see the checkered flag this evening, and to let alone win or have a good result. So it's going to be very tight quarters racing with a truck that is not very cooperative at a track that just breeds destruction. It's going to be a blast, and I can't wait to be a part of it.
Yeah, well, we're looking forward to it. Good luck out there. We got just about 20 seconds or so before we're going to start taking the starting grid. So good luck out there, and we'll be looking forward to talking to you, hopefully throughout the race, if not just towards the end.
Adios, amigo.
Alrighty, that was Mr. Tommy Cook. We also have a special guest that will be calling in here tonight as well. Let's get through a couple of our opening ceremony festivities here real quick, and we'll see if we can get our special guest on the phone here tonight. This is the starting lineup for the 190 million millimeters of Stumptown from Portland International Raceway, and this is your starting grid. No surprise here. I think this was coming. Brody Gunter has taken the pole here tonight at Portland. Andy Poliski was also very fast in practice, was able to put down a good qualifying effort as well. Andy will start on Brody's outside. Another good road course racer and Matt Schlosser will be starting in fifth. John Kay will start in fourth on his outside. In the fifth spot, Lucas Carver. Josh Monachek will start there on the third row with Carver. On the fourth row, Austin Holyfield, Zach Lockett, Hayden Palumbo, and Kyle Zittel will round out your top 10. Our very own Tommy Cook starting there in 11th. Jan Bandelier in 12th. Paul Ellison will take off in the 13th position with Garrett Rainey on his outside. Jack Watts, Chad Stearns will start 15th and 16th. Steve Roman, Brantley Gainey on your 9th row. And in your top 20, Jordan Jorno, Corey Rutherford, Josh Freed, Joshua Rutherford starting there right behind. So the Rutherford brothers starting front to tail there. Andy Ducato, Gary Clark in your top 24. Eric Breeding, Tyler Berger, and RJ Starcevic are going to round out your field here tonight. And it does look like everybody has taken to the grid. So there will be 27 starters here at Portland International Raceway here tonight. Let's take a quick look at some weather conditions here. Fairly warm, especially for being up there in the northwest in Portland. 113 degrees is your track temperature currently. So Tommy already alluded to kind of, as Paul Ellison has pulled off. And sounds like he might be having some hardware issues. So he will look to get those corrected. But Tommy Cook kind of already alluded to the slippery and slow nature of this track. I think the track temperature might come into play there as well. So now that we have all of that underway, let's go ahead and bring in our very special guest of the evening, as everybody at home do a drum roll. It is Mr. Nathan Reynolds. Welcome into the booth.
What's up, Matt? Thanks for having me.
What an intro, huh?
Oh, yeah. Played it up so big for somebody that's not at all important.
Well, you're important around these parts. It's always good to have you when we can. So thanks for joining us here tonight. I know you have pretty much zero history with this racetrack, as I would imagine most of the drivers here in the Venom Truck Series do. So I don't think there's a ton of experience among the field here at Portland, but everybody is looking forward to getting after it, as we are going to be rounding the final corner. Pace truck is pulled off.
Here we go.
And there's the green flag waving at Portland International Raceway. 60 laps getting underway here. This is a big test. Everybody worried about if they're going to get together here in the first chicane. A little bit of contact. Steve Roman's around. Man. Oh, there's a big stack up there towards the back. It looked like Steve Roman, the only real
Casualty.
Casualty, yes, thank you. Victim is what I was looking for there.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it quite a casualty. He does live to fight another day. Luckily, he made it out of there without any damage, looked like.
Brody Gunter, Andy Poliski, John K., Matt Schlosser, Josh Monachek currently in your top 5. Everybody got through there fairly cleanly. Any surprise there that there wasn't some more carnage into the first chicane?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I would have taken the over.
This first lap, tires are cold. Everybody just trying to make sure that they keep everything underneath of them. No reason to throw a race away early on here. Matt Schlosser,
yeah, early in a road course is a really good opportunity to gain some track position, but you have to be very mindful and very cautious, because you could also lose a lot of valuable track position as well with the tires being so cold.
First lap underway. Brody Gunter already out to a 1.7 second lead over Andy Poliski. But once you get back to the 32, things are much, much tighter, as Schlosser had a look at John Kay sort of into the first turn, but wasn't quite able to make anything work with it. Those top 6 pretty much all nose to tail after that. Spoke to Tommy Cook a little bit ago. He's sitting here in the 10th position right now, looking to make a move on Zach Lockett. Has a good run. This is the closest battle on the racetrack right now. And Cook thinks better of it for now. That's a very aggressive driver, and Jan Van Leer behind him as well. So I would imagine always needing to be mindful of who is around you and who can throw that potential dive bomb. Shout out to everybody in the chat so far tonight. Haven't gotten a chance to shout y'all out yet. Shout out to Robin Monachek, Eric Breeding, Bailey Marie Monachek, of course, Tyler Berger, Joshua Rutherford. Ryan Dye is here as well, cheering on for the number 13. Couple of drivers here in the chat prior to the race start. I think most of them are just going to be happy to survive and happy to get in the top 15 or 20 here tonight. Well, Nathan, although you don't have much history here at Portland necessarily, you do have history running road course races in this truck. I know that they had to acquire a special setup for Portland, as there is not one given per iRacing. I have heard that it is it's questionable, I guess you could say. Some are fairly happy with it, others are not so much. Oh, as Cook goes off there, he kind of followed Lockett out towards the outside of the racetrack, dipped a couple tires into the grass, so Jan Van Leer will get through on the number 20. But what are your overall feelings about road course racing in the truck?
It's my favorite. There's no other vehicle that I would rather run around these road courses than the truck. It just suits my driving style the most. So I feel like it's harder to drive, but it's also more familiar for myself, given that I run the trucks the most. And I think a lot of the guys in the field would also relate to that as well. If you can kind of get the handle of it and keep it underneath you, you start to learn how much you can really push. And you can see a lot of different people come out and run up front in these types of races.
It's definitely a different beast, as there is. That was Brantley Gainey that went for a little spin there. It looked like RJ Starcevic had an off track as well, and he is back in the 27th position at the tail of the field right now. Paul Ellison side by side for a moment there with Joshua Rutherford, able to make the move. We're starting to see some movers throughout the field finally here, as Zach Lockett has had issue at some point. Both Cook and Garrett Rainey have gotten around. There is a quite a bit to try and keep track of here.
Yeah, these trucks are very difficult to drive on these road courses. They're a completely different animal. They're not meant to be driven on these types of tracks.
I would imagine, especially, I mean, a lot of Portland is extremely flat. I can't imagine that the truck does particularly well, especially at these flatter road courses.
Yeah, I was trying to think back, and Watkins Glen seems to have a little more banking going into each turn. It's probably one of the more easy tracks to drive in these trucks. But somewhere like Road America, from what little I can see of Portland with the tight corners, it kind of reminds me of Road America. And that may be a bad comparison. I don't have a lot of experience with that, but Road America was very difficult to drive in these trucks. If you can remember back, I was off track, seemed like quite a bit in the last 8 or 10 laps. Me, John Kay, and Brody had an epic battle for second place behind Schlosser, and it seemed like I was in the grass more than I was on track.
Well, Cook and Rainey trying not to find themselves in the grass here. Rainey able to pull up alongside of Tommy out of the final corner and able to make the move into the first chicane. So Garrett Rainey up 4 positions so far on the evening there in the number 13. For some of you that might not be super familiar with Portland, as looks like Steve Roman might have had another issue. Him and Journeau kind of mired back in the field here. Looks like RJ may have called it a night already as well. So we only have one driver so far that has given up throughout the first 6 laps here, but I'm sure he may not be the last to have to retire. We'll see how everybody fares here. 6 laps completed. 7th is up on the board right now. Paul Ellison. Pretty good look here on the other Rutherford brother here in Corey. Oh, and Corey. Oh, makes some contact with Ellison. He nearly spun it. That was a battle for 17th. So Ellison up to 17th, and now here comes Brantley Gainey that just had issue a couple of laps ago. He'll make up a position on the number 15.
Did Paul have to start in the rear where he had the issue?
I don't think he had to start too much further back than he was scheduled to. He was scheduled to start, I believe, in 21st or 22nd. So even if he was a little bit further back, it was only by a few positions.
He's still, regardless, he's moving forward.
Yeah, he's moving forward pretty good right now. Him and Josh Freed both have moved forward. I do believe that Paul did have to start further back than he was originally scheduled to. I don't think he got that VR going. It sounded like it was a VR issue over the radio, so I do think he had to stick to the back there on the restart, or on the initial start, I should say.
Right. I don't know how you guys keep up with all these paint schemes. This is just as bad as the real life product. I can't, like, I'm watching here without the relative, and I don't recognize anybody.
Yeah, there is. I think a lot of drivers, particularly maybe for a road course, brought out some alternate paint schemes tonight. So not necessarily easy for me to keep up tonight either. But what I can tell you is nobody is keeping up with Brody Gunter. This is Brody Gunter out in front in the 01. 6-second advantage over Andy Poliski there in second. That's just over the first 8 laps. I mean, that is just a ridiculous pace.
Yeah, no surprise.
And it's funny because, I mean, he does a lot of more sports car road racing typically, but he's able to come in here in the truck and just, I mean, manhandle it at a racetrack like this. So it is quite the talent that the 01 has here on the road courses. There's no doubt about it.
I would like to see him take the real life Legends cars up to New Hampshire Roval or somewhere like that and run. See what he can do.
Yeah, I'm unaware if he has much more road course style experience. I know, of course, work in the Legends, but I don't know if he has any road course style karting experience in real life or not.
Yeah, me either.
Sorry, I cut you off there. Matt Schlosser had a little bit of a look there on John Kay for third. These two have been fairly close throughout the opening 9 laps here, but Schlosser has just never really had that great of an opportunity. He's gotten runs here and there, but hasn't quite had the opening to really go for a pass here on the number 2. How much does tire management come into play at a road course race like this?
Getting on the throttle on the exit of corners, especially, that's the biggest thing I've noticed. Try not to slide them on entry, but mainly managing them off the exit of a corner. You'd lose drive off over time, start to slide the tires. It definitely, most of my road course experience, it comes into play, especially later in a run.
Be interesting to see who the comers and goers are based off of that as we roll along. Speaking of comers and goers, Paul Ellison working on another pass here on Josh Freed and is able to complete that into the first chicane. So Paul Ellison, had it not been for his hardware issues to start the race, very well may be in the top 10 at this point. But all the way up to 16th from basically starting in the back. So it has been a nice run for the 55 so far this evening.
Oh, absolutely. Long way to go, too. I don't see any reason he couldn't get up to the top 10 at least.
I mean, he's in a spot where he kind of has to push it to get through that traffic further back in the pack. I mean, I'm sure once he gets to come in, take his pit stop, and has much better track position, he can really start to make up some time on these top 10 drivers here.
Yep.
Don't look now, folks. 3-way battle for second. Poliski, I'm not sure what happened to Andy, but Poliski has given up about a second of time to John Kay and Matt Schlosser, and all 3 of them are right here together now. A little bit of lap traffic in front of them here as well. I believe that is Ducato there in the 02. As Schlosser, that is about as good of a look as the 04 has had all night on K. Still not quite able to do anything with it.
Guys are getting really close to that wall there on the entry of turn 1. Reminds me a lot of the bus stop at Watkins Glen. Trying to cut it as close as you can to the wall to set up your first turn back to the left.
Let's go on board with Schlosser here as he works right towards the bumper of the 2. I mean, if you look at the rear bumper of K from the windshield of Schlosser here, you can see, oh, and K is out towards the grass. Not going to get a good drive off of the final corner, and Matt Schlosser finally sees that opening he's been looking for. Schlosser into the top 3. So, Nathan, you've worked a lot with John K over the years. You've taught him quite a few things in your day as well. I mean, a mistake like that happens to John. Schlosser gets through. I mean, where is his mindset right now, and how does he try and get the bearings underneath of him to just make sure he keeps running the clean laps?
Well, it's John, so it's going to be very difficult. He has to not unravel here. He can be his own worst enemy. He's just got to stay calm, cool, and collected. And really, in these moments, needs me in his ear to tell him to do so. A lot of callbacks there to times where we were racing each other, and even a time where I was running him down, and he's complaining that I'm going to catch him and pass him. And the famous "shut up and drive" line that I told him at Atlanta. So. Yeah, just not be your own worst enemy here. You gotta forget it and move forward and look out the windshield. It's very hard to do though. It is, because it's a lot of just like sports, driving is very momentum based, no pun intended, and you start hitting your marks, it's easy to keep that up, but once you start missing your mark or miss a mark, it becomes more difficult going forward to continue to do so. If you start to think about it, you can really overthink things and get out of your rhythm. Almost thinking less is better. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of the benefit of being in a team chat, I think, is being able to not only bounce the ideas off of each other, but also maybe clear the mind with the chat with the others every once in a while. So it looks like he's rebounded nicely. He has not really lost a whole lot of time to Schlosser here, and Schlosser has caught up to the bumper of Poliski, so John is sticking right with these two for right now. Talk about a driver that has momentum. That would be Matt Schlosser, last season's champion, regular season champion, series season champion last year, and now is the points leader in the regular season currently, looking to run down Andy Poliski. Kind of took a peek to the inside there, maybe just to let Poliski know, hey, if I really wanted to, I might be able to try it.
Yeah, I think he may know that he's racing for possibly his best position that he's going to get here. The field pretty well racing for second place, and being very smart about it. Just kind of make a move to the inside, knowing that you're probably not going to get there to his door, but just maybe in the back of his mind, in his mirror at the same time, and force him into a mistake.
A little bit of movement further back around the top 10. Jan Van Leer has gotten all the way up to 9th position right now. It's then Rainey, Cook, Lockett, and Chad Stearns has made up a few positions, sitting there in 13th. I know Chad, one of those drivers that's definitely not super comfortable on the road courses. He would much rather be on the ovals. There's no doubt about it. But, I mean, for I would imagine probably a little bit of a lack of confidence on a road course. He's starting to figure it out right here.
Chad's probably got the most seat time of anybody in the field times 10, so he definitely should. He can. Oh, we got a battle for second here. They were side by side. But yeah, he can use a lot of things that he's learned from other places to try to carry over. Just the feel for the truck mainly.
Oh, and Zach Lockett has crashed.
Oh no!
And it looks like Stearns has gotten through on Tommy Cook as well. Something must have happened there. And it looked like Lockett has pretty extensive damage. That might be a night over for the 93. That's unfortunate. Was battling for a top 10 position right there. Speaking of top 10 positions and battling, Jan Van Leer, Garrett Rainey battling for ninth currently. And Tommy Cook and Chad Stearns right behind them battling for 11th. Let's see if we can take a look and see what happened to Lockett here. And actually, Cook and Lockett side by side here into turn one. Stearns with the run as well. Oh, and hits that inside wall. Cook actually misses the chicane.
Oh, he made a Connor Zilic move there. Seen trouble in his mirror.
Looked like Lockett must not have gotten a very good run out of the final corner. Both Cook and Stearns had a big run on him. So Cook had to give up that time. That allowed Chad Stearns to get through. Had the slowdown penalty for missing the chicane. Looking just a couple spots further back, Paul Ellison still continuing to work his way through the field, has gotten past Jack Watts and now just behind Kyle Zittel. Long line of drivers here from 13th back to the 16th position. And really it's 17th there as Andy Poliski and Joshua Matacek are now battling. Poliski starting to struggle with the truck here. John Kay has gotten through after Schlosser got to second. And now Joshua Matacek around the outside making it work. That is a nice piece of driving for Matacek to be able to make that work on the outside there.
Was a very good move. I think Andy may have burned his tires up.
Yeah, Poliski
slip here.
Yeah, he seems to be slipping back pretty consistently here at this point. I mean, he's already lost 2.5 seconds to Schlosser, who just got around him about a lap and a half, maybe 2 laps ago. I see some drivers coming down pit road. That's Jordan. No, he's actually stopped. He came in and just decided to total the pits. That might be night over for Jordan there as well.
What's a tank of fuel here? How many laps?
I want to say they can almost make it to halfway. I do think it's close.
That'll be interesting to see if anybody can save enough to make it a one stop.
This is a little bit of a longer road course race than I think we're typically accustomed to, as three-way battle here. Boy, Poliski just about got into the back of Matacek. Everybody kind of checked up there. Matacek and Poliski had a good run on K. And Matacek is wanting to get on the move right now. He is sliding that truck all over the place. wants to make this happen and wants to make it happen now. He gets to the inside of K here out of the final corner. He decides to think better of it. I did not think he was going to back down there for a moment.
With this being a longer road course race, it's more opportunity for Brody to lap more trucks, which, you know, will happen. And that's one risk that he'll have to face is navigating the lap traffic. Oh, somebody's off the track.
Yeah, that's some lap traffic right there. That is Andy Ducato, who has been struggling here tonight. He's all the way back in 26th position right now. May have gotten some damage or something early on. I mean, he is quite a few laps down already.
Andy is not a fan of road course racing. This is the first time I've seen him turn right.
And these drivers working their way through some more traffic here. That's the 44 of Tyler Berger. And everybody gets through cleanly there. Berger gives plenty of room, sticking to the outside there. And there's a fan for Zach Lockett in the chat. Unfortunately, Zach retired from this one after 16 laps. He got into actually this inside wall right here as Monacek gives the bumper to John Kay there through the first chicane. Monacek is not playing nice right now. He wants to get through. I mean, these two very familiar with each other already. They're not going to wreck each other by any means, but Monacek gets the position. He was not going to hold any punches there. Yep. With John having a battle with Monacek so hard, you got to wonder how the tires are looking there on the number 2 at this point. As Poliski has now tucked up underneath the 2. Poliski looking for a comeback. A little bit further back in the top 10. Austin Holyfield and Hayden Palumbo battling for 7th. Had a bit of a small conversation with Hayden Palumbo earlier today. And he informed me that he might be one of the very few drivers that heel toes with an H-pattern shifter here on the road courses.
Yeah, he sent me some pretty cool videos there the other day of that.
Yeah, sent me a couple of videos of him in a sports car, but I would imagine there's probably not too many drivers, especially in the truck, that are going for that technique here tonight.
No, that's above my pay grade. I'll take the easy way out.
Yep, I'm right there with you.
I do the rev matching and the flat foot shifting and stuff like that.
No!
But, oh no!
Lockett and the Palumbo get together.
Oh, nice save for both of them.
Yeah, I don't know if Palumbo was just trying to back that corner up a little bit further than Holyfield was expecting. Oh, as John Kay off the racing surface there in the final corner. That allows Poliski to get back through, but still a good 4.5 seconds or so back to Lucas Carver here. So Kay pretty solidly in the 5th position. Needs to just try and keep the nose clean here for a little bit. Here's a look at the battle for 13th. This is Paul Ellison and Kyle Zittel. Zittel currently has it in the 53. You see the immense face of concentration here on the car inside camera for Kyle Zittel. He is on top of this thing right now. And he needs to be, because Paul Ellison has been charging through this field so far.
Tyler Bergert calling out that he is off track.
Looks like a little bit of blinking for John Kay happening here as well. Hopefully connection issues resolve themselves. And let's do a check-in on leader Brody Gunter. Currently 19 seconds out in front of the field, just past Brantley Gainey. We are less than halfway through this race. Brantley Gainey is in the 15th position. So Brody Gunter has lapped up to 15th already. Gunter also running a car inside camera for us here tonight, giving us a nice good look at a driver that can absolutely, and I'm just going to go there on the stream tonight, kick ass at the road courses. Because I don't think there's anything else you could call this right now other than an ass whooping. Stone Cold would be proud. He's opening up a can.
Oh, yeah. Straight mud hole.
For Gunter to be lapping up this high, I know he's still pushing the limit, but I mean, he's also kind of on a Sunday stroll right now. I mean, looking at the camera here, I mean, he is just yucking it up with his team in the chat right now. I mean, this is an unbelievable performance.
Oh yeah, this is Connor Zilich at Watkins Glen when the team's telling him to save fuel and back it off, and he's like, "I'm not even touching the gas."
Here's a look back a little bit further. Good battle for 8th. This is Chad Stearns and Jan Van Leer. So Stearns up into the top 10. Why is it always some of our best drivers that have the least amount of confidence and voice it quite vocally before a night where they end up doing pretty well? I feel like that happens all the time.
It does.
Shout out to Jordan Jordan in the chat. Has parked it for the evening. Yeah, I mean, this, I don't know if it would need to be done for all the road courses. This one in particular, pretty tough task here tonight, I think. But hopefully can work on the practice and the racecraft for the road courses a little bit. We'll get you back out here and show some progress there. I think that's something to look forward to.
Oh yeah, it's a learning experience for everyone. People's going to make mistakes. It's just part of it. Got to keep your head up.
Yeah, I mean, especially, I mean, this is a series that predominantly, I mean, pretty much everybody comes from, you know, a oval racing background for the most part. I mean, of course, Brody, quite extensive practice in the sim on road courses, but as Chad Stearns gets a great run on Jan Van Leer, and Jan doesn't even really try and put up the fight. He just says, "Yep, you got it. Let's let everybody stay in one piece here," and it doesn't fight it too much. So Stearns up to 8th now. Jan Van Leer back to 9th. Chad Stearns up 8 positions so far. And technically in the running order is the biggest mover of the race, albeit Paul Ellison, I think, technically has gained more positions, but just started further in the back than he was supposed to.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity. This league is to learn new tracks. You know, as we've ventured out and went to a lot of new places that either aren't in real NASCAR or even on the iRacing schedule. This being one of them for the Truck Series, and just a good opportunity to learn the new not only the new tracks but just that particular driving style. You know, I was never a road course racer by any means, and having road courses in this league kind of forced me to start driving those, and I was lucky enough to learn enough to actually win a few road course races. Of course, the first one was off of fuel mileage, but after that, kind of gained some confidence that was much needed. Talk about the lack of confidence across the league and some of the guys, and then able to win a couple more after that with Watkins Glen and Canadian Tire. So, you know, for anybody that's leaving or quitting early tonight, don't hang your head on that. Just use it and learn from it, and get them the next time.
Looks like pit lane is open currently this time around. Steve Roman, the only driver to come down pit road for what I would assume is a scheduled pit stop. And here comes Brantley Gainey down pit road as well. So a couple of drivers starting to come down pit road. I would imagine most drivers are just going to look right at the halfway point, but a couple of drivers trying to maybe gain a small advantage here in the short term, trying to short pit this stop for this race. Threw the track map up on the screen for everybody here as well, in case you're not very familiar with Portland at home. See, this is John and Andy heading into that first chicane. These two just cannot get away from each other this race.
Brings back memories of myself, always around Andy, never can get away.
He is definitely a tough driver to battle in any capacity. I think everybody, if they have had to battle with the 32, he is not an easy one to either pass, and if he's all over it, he's not giving up either.
Oh yeah, by far my favorite ever.
Joshua Rutherford off the track, but he's able to get it locked down, not come into the path of Poliski or Kay. So pretty good work there from the 64 to get it under wraps. Thought he might come down pit road, but ends up bringing it back up on the racetrack. Here is Brody Gunter. Has lapped up to 12th place and currently has Tommy Cook in 11th right here in front of him. So Brody Gunter might be looking to be the only truck on the lead lap by the end of this.
I was wondering, I was thinking to myself if that would be possible.
I don't think that is really possible, but I definitely think he might be able to lap up to like 6th or 7th place at this point.
Yeah.
As Jan Van
I think he
Leer,
might get deeper.
Jan Van Leer comes down pit road. So Jan Van Leer, the first driver inside the top 10 to make a pit stop here. This should start the chain reaction. As this is a battle on the racetrack for position, Chad Stearns continuing to move forward. That is Hayden Palumbo on the 35 that he just got around. And here comes Poliski, and here comes Lucas Carver down pit road. Haven't talked about Carver too much. He's having a good run. He's just been A little bit out in no man's land out there behind the top 5, but in front of everybody else inside the top 10. Hayden Palumbo coming down this time as well, so pit stop should be complete here in the next lap or two, as here comes your leader, Brody Gunter. Tommy Cook, Garrett Rainey, they will be coming down this time. Looks like Jack Watts will peel off. Matt Schlosser is going to stay out. But I'm not sure he is technically going to lead that lap because Gunter had already passed the start-finish line in his pit box. So if Schlosser wants to lead a lap, he is going to have to go another one around. And here's where Brody Gunter comes out on the field. You can see in front of John Kay, who has not come down pit road yet. So Brody still comes out in front of the 2, and John has to come down pit road yet. Chad Stearns in the 05 making his way down pit lane. Have just a few more left to make the stops complete. Kyle Zittel, Paul Ellison are in this time as well. And here comes Matt Schlosser. Schlosser will stay out and will lead the field into lap number 33. Shout out to Jeremy McKinnon in the chat. Appreciate the shout out. I'm sure everybody on the racetrack and in Venom does as well. Tommy Cook on the racetrack also appreciates the love, I'm sure, as well as does our special guest tonight, Mr. Nathan Reynolds.
No, not from Jeremy.
We're hoping to have you back soon too, partner. Looking forward to it. So a couple of drivers yet to come down here inside the top 10. Matt Schlosser, John Kay, Corey Rutherford has stayed out. Josh Freed has stayed out for a few extra laps as well. A couple of other drivers outside the top 20. Eric Breeding, Tyler Bergert, Andy Ducato still need to make their pit stops here. As here comes Matt Schlosser. He's led his lap, and now he will come down pit road and settle back into second place. As there goes Brody Gunter by already in the 01. Let's take a lap around the racetrack here with Brody and watch him do his magic around the rights and lefts here. Trying to get around a little lap traffic right now. That is Garrett Rainey in the 13. And that was the purple lap of the race the last time around for Gunter, a 1:14.35. If anybody is curious, I believe the next fastest lap anybody else has turned is a 1:15 flat from Josh Matichek. That is ridiculous. Good battle here between Palumbo and Stearns. As Palumbo just made that pass on the 05 a minute ago. Let's take a look. Little bit of lap traffic coming into play here, maybe. That is Joshua Rutherford in the 64. And Palumbo does a pretty good job of using Rutherford as a little bit of a pick there. And Palumbo is able to get the run down the front stretch into the first chicane. Ooh. Had to split the tires a little bit to get down to a good speed to make the corner, but still able to keep the spot. But Palumbo back up to 8th. Stearns back to 9th. Those two have flip-flop positions a couple of times here. John Kay might be under fire here before too long, has Lucas Carver chipping away at the time here between him and the two. Thanks to everybody that's tuned in so far. We got 25 laps to go here at Portland International Raceway. We could not have... Oh, as John Kay gets loose! I mean, that is not a area of the racetrack you would expect to lose traction necessarily. And he has completely... Oh, my goodness. What a great save to not hit the tire barrier there. But Lucas Carver will get the spot. Man. I mean, that chain of events happened very quickly.
I think he got the tires hot on the first slide, and they hadn't cooled off. And the next slide came, just kind of trickling down from that.
I mean,
snowball
that was,
effect.
Yeah, that was very heads up from John. I mean, he locked it down to stay out of that tire barrier, because if he would have hit that at any rate of speed, his night would have been over.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, these road courses and these trucks, you get the tires hot and you slide them once. You got to be very mindful of it. And it's hard, like in the position that he was in, having to fend off somebody. You're kind of pushing a little extra, trying to stay in front of them, and the truck just doesn't have the grip that you need there. You kind of have to take it easy for a little couple corners and cool the tires, and he just wasn't able to do that, and it showed.
I mean, John, he had maybe just one lap under his belt on that set of tires. I mean, just kind of coming around that right-hand bend, a pretty quick section. I mean, is that just pushing it too hard on a colder tire that maybe forgetting that you might need to take it a little bit easier on the tire that's only a lap old?
Yeah, and seeing somebody in the mirror definitely doesn't help. I mean, it's just it's natural to want to push to try to stay in front of them. So, easy mistake to make. And then, like I say, you get the tires hot, knowing that you have to take a couple corners off, and then seeing that pressure in the mirror, it's hard. You almost can't, even though you have to, and just hope that it sticks, and ultimately it didn't. Plenty of time to rebound here, though, and get his position back.
Yeah, in fact, he just did something. I don't know. Carver may have made a mistake. John Kay got that back very quickly. We'll go back and take a look at that here in a moment. Let's pay attention to this battle between Vroman, Holyfield, and Freed for the time being. This would be a battle for 16th on the racetrack. Things starting to tighten up a little bit further up the road as well between Jan Van Leer and Hayden Palumbo. We'll keep our eye on that one as we continue with this battle. Oh, and Vroman blows through that chicane. I'm sure he'll have some time he has to give back. Hasn't given much back yet. And maybe won't. would be surprised if he didn't have a slowdown penalty, but it doesn't seem like he does. Very interesting there, as this has now become a four-way battle as Brantley Gainey makes his way into view. We're going to go away from this from a moment because Hayden Palumbo, Jan Van Leer are battling for 7th, and Palumbo now all over that back bumper, ends up backing the corner way up. I think was hoping to scare Jan and do a bit of a mistake there. So Jan Van Leer holds off for now, still sits in 7th. Oh, and I just realized, I think Tommy Cook has had a bit of an off track as well, as Tommy was just outside the top 10. He has now slipped back to 15th. So we got a couple of things to look at here in the near future. Palumbo still looking at the back bumper of the number 5. And this is setting up to be a pretty lengthy road course race for these drivers. I mean, we're about 50 minutes into this one right now. As Palumbo able to swing to the inside of Jan Van Leer. Palumbo should have the inside positioning into the first chicane and takes that position easily. So Palumbo up to 7th. Now Chad Stearns will try and work his way into this battle. And not too far behind them, that is your leader, Brody Gunter. So in just a few laps' time, Gunter is going to lap up to 7th place. This one is going to be a little bit more interesting, though, because all three of these drivers battling for position on the racetrack while Gunter is trying to put them a lap down. If you're Brody in this situation, Nathan, are you sitting back at all to just try and let them work this out, or are you just going to push the issue and make sure you get past it so nothing happens in front of you?
Sorry, I was on mute. You gotta. If it were me, I'd be sitting back, just buying my time here, and just making sure I get by everybody clean. You know, you've got a huge gap back to 2nd place, and there's no reason to be chasing your tail here, chasing the rabbit, trying to you know, blister the pace and set the world on fire. You've already got a huge lead. You know the inevitable that's going to happen. You just got to be smart, stay clean.
Well, it doesn't look like Gunter is going to sit back on this one at all, as Stearns made his way past Jan Van Leer. Just had a little bit of wheel slippage there, has allowed Jan to get right up to his bumper. So Palumbo firmly in 7th now. Looking to manage the tires at this point. Let's take a look back on a couple of these moments that have happened throughout the race. This is John Kay to get passing Lucas Carver back to get back up to 5th. Oh, as Carver just way too wide through the corner there, and he A lot of that, I'm sure, is the pressure from John there from behind, just maybe trying to push it a little bit too hard. Ends up going way wide through that corner. Let's take a look at what happened to our dear friend Tommy Cook. Oh, and just too much speed into... Oh, and then he gassed it up to try and keep himself from smashing the engine into the tire barrier. I mean, it worked. He pretty much did what he was hoping to do there, looped it around and just backed it in. That was quite the moment. So Brody Gunter still working on Hayden Palumbo. Palumbo not wanting to go a lap down to the 0-1 here, although I'm not sure that's going to work for much longer.
Yeah, I have to take the high road on this one. Just let it happen.
Palumbo's still trying to fight tooth and nail, but knows that Gunter has that preferred positioning and will let Gunter by. So Gunter has now lapped up to 7th place. As you saw Tommy Cook pulling over. I would assume has quite a bit of damage to the rear of that truck. And on this road course with this setup, that just is not going to work. Unfortunately, not going to be the day that Cook was looking for after having top 10 pace in practice.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate. He was a Tommy Cook fan tonight.
He's really chasing that rabbit, wanting to get a top 5 at some point. In our limited time this season, he will have to try it again at another juncture, maybe in season 11. So let's reset, take a look at the lay of the land here for you as we head into the final quarter of this race here in just a moment's time. Brody Gunter still firmly out front, a 27-second lead over Matt Schlosser in second. This is Matt Schlosser on screen in that second position. Josh Matichek has made his way up to third. I think he had good practice time, but I think it just took him a little while in the race to finally get going. And once he did, he's been really quick. So I think he's probably run out of time to get to Matt Schlosser, but a great drive from Josh to get up to the third position here. Andy Poliski sits in fourth. Lucas Carver, we missed this one, has gotten back around John Kay. We'll go find that one again, I suppose. So it's Carver in fifth, Kay in sixth, Hayden Palumbo in seventh, Chad Stearns, Jan Van Leer, Garrett Rainier, your top 10. Paul Ellison, Kyle Zittle, Jack Watts, Corey Rutherford, Austin Holyfield, Josh Freed, Steve Roman, Brantley Gainey, Joshua Rutherford, and Tyler Bergerts are your top 20. Chad Stearns sends it through the chicane. He should definitely have a slowdown for that one. And, yep, he's going to have to give back the time to Jan. Let's see if Brantley Gainey is a lap down, but doesn't look like Gainey is going to get past the 05 here. And Jack Watts has had a bit of an issue. I think there was an off track here for 77. Oh, and a very similar incident to Cook, although he gets it locked down, but does basically go for a spin there. Loses quite a bit of time to Corey Rutherford, but there was a lot of time back to Austin Holyfield, so only loses the one position. I guess we're going to have to pay attention to John and Carver for the rest of the race, because they have traded this position about 3 or 4 times now at this point, and Kay is closing back in again. Oh, you can see the wheel inputs from Carver there. Maybe getting a little nervous with the 2 right in behind. Oh, and Carver big time over the turtles. Kay does the same. A much better exit there for the 2. This was the problem corner for Carver. The last time Kay was able to get around. Navigates it nicely this time around. When you're in a dogfight like this between you and another driver throughout basically the entirety of this race, Nathan, I mean, does everything else kind of melt away? Is this basically your sole focus as they almost made contact? Carver pretty wide. Kay really pushed the issue up the inside there.
Yeah, at this point, everything's so strung out. You know, you're just racing for that one spot. Nothing else really matters. You know, it's a lot different than your typical oval where you'd be saving tire, trying to maintain track position with the possibility of a yellow flag or and the field getting bunched back up, or at least being in striking distance of the leader. At this point, they're just fighting for that one spot, battling hard.
Same could be said here for Jan Van Leer, Chad Stearns as well. These two still battling. Palumbo has gotten pretty far out in front of these two at this point. So you just saw the pass for John Kay to get back around Carver. Let's take a look at the replay of the one pass that we missed where Carver passed John for 5th prior to that, and that was a mistake from the 2. See John way off into the grass and not able to get any sort of a run into this very fast section. So it would seem that John has the overall pace over the 89. John is just having a tough time keeping all 4 tires on the racing surface. Here is your leader, Brody Gunter. He is roughly 14-ish seconds behind Carver at this point, so it is looking like maybe 7th will be the furthest position Brody will be able to lap up to, which is still ridiculous, but at least that's the hope, I think, for the rest of the field.
Yeah, that's impressive. I once lapped up to 7th at Rockingham on an oval, and that track was a whole lot smaller and a lot shorter lap time than you have here. So for this place to be so big and so strung out, that's very that's a very impressive performance.
Let's take a look back to Carver and Kay here. These two, and then Jan Van Leer and Chad Stearns at this point, are by far the closest battles in the field. Schlosser and Vodacek. Vodacek has made up a little bit of time on Schlosser, but not much. So that gap is still around 6 seconds or so. As we are inside 10 to go here for Brody Gunter. Sunday stroll at this point for the 01. Just get it home safely. See, Tommy Cook finally has kind of gotten his bearings back here and showing good pace. I mean, he is stuck with Jan Van Leer for the better part of about the last 5-6 laps or so. And Jan currently sits in ninth, so, I mean, Tommy able to show the pace. Unfortunately, the position is not going to show the effort here tonight. And there's a lap around with our very own leader of Turn 200, although technically I did take over the rights after our iRacing Super Speedway bet, I guess you could say. But he's still the leader in my book, as a little bit of an off track there for the 20. We're going to have to go take a look and a peek back up to John Kay and Carver, because just as they had gotten strung out by about a second and a half, they have come right back together again. It's like an abusive relationship. You just can't get away from each other.
It's so difficult to battle with teammates too. It's a very interesting position to be in.
And I mean, on the car and side camera as well, I mean, we could see Carver throughout the race has, obviously been speaking with teammates, and I'm sure one of them is John. So, it would appear that they are probably talking this out with each other as it is unfolding. So that is certainly an interesting dynamic to have to play through here.
Yeah, and being in a position like this, it's not as high stakes. It doesn't matter as much, so it's easier to have fun with. You're in the middle of the regular season, and if you're pretty solid in points, then races really don't matter. It's just getting through the motions and clicking off races before you get to the playoffs. So I'm sure they're a little more laid back than they would be if this was, say, the final 5 races, or if they were on the cusp of just getting in the top 10 in points. Yeah, I said earlier that Andy was by far my all-time favorite to battle. It was easier, it was funner because he wasn't a teammate, and we could lean on each other and not have to worry. And you know, I had a lot of great battles with John, as Luke is here, and I hated every one of them because I loved it, but I hated it because if I made a mistake, then it hurt the team twice as much. You know, so it's a very peculiar situation to be in. You got to be very mindful that you are racing with a teammate, and it's affecting not only you and your performance or theirs, but also the team's.
Yeah, I think you all know a thing or two about the team dynamics and some team championships over there, certainly. So I think if there's anybody that would be able to speak on that, it is certainly you all. So a very good insight there from the team dynamic as Chad Stearns and Hayden Palumbo are now going to battle here. Palumbo had gotten out pretty far in front of Stearns, but Stearns has reeled Palumbo back in. Got to wonder if Palumbo's starting to really feel the effect of these tires here. Maybe burnt them up a little bit too much trying to get away from these guys. Oh, Stearns kind of hunting that back bumper there for a moment. Nothing doing this time around for the 05. He'll try and mount another charge here. Palumbo, a pretty tough pass. This one will not be easy if Stearns is able to get a run somewhere. Man, you can see everybody through that final corner trying to get back onto the power. I mean, we've been on board with quite a few drivers throughout the night as they have rounded that corner, as Palumbo's smoking the tires a little bit into that first chicane. Stearns is going to pull right back up. But through that final corner, I mean, the wheel is sawing back and forth. I mean, this truck is really loose trying to get back into the power there down the front stretch.
Everybody's digging for everything they've got here, trying to sort out their final positions, pushing as hard as they can. There's nothing left of these tires. You can't. The saving's over with. It's time to go.
Yeah, Stearns is certainly hanging it all out there at this point. Kind of had a peak, but certainly I think made the right call and tucking back in line and looking for another opportunity here. As Gunter has crossed the start-finish line to put 3 to go up on the board.
Three to go for Brody, 5 to go for everybody else.
Yes, definitely 4 to go for most. At least 4 to go. We'll keep our eyes on this battle for right now. Really no other close battles on the racetrack here. Gunter has put 2 to go up on the board. That means for Palumbo and Stearns, this is really going to be their one to go because they have been lapped.
I've noticed there's been a lot more battles on track here for this particular road course compared to a lot of other places, as far as passing and everything goes.
I mean, you
I know
would
it's
think
pretty strung out, but
yeah, I mean, it feels like a tough place to pass just because the corners are so tight. But I think, you almost have to be absolutely perfect to not give up much time to that guy behind you, as Gunter is going to cross the start-finish line. White flag is up. 1 to go here for the 01. And I think it's just prone to making these small little mistakes that I think just kind of brings, if you're battling with somebody, just brings you back together time and time again. I think the perfect example of that was Kay and Carver here tonight, that just as one would seem like they have the advantage, the other, they would make a mistake, the other one would be right there again. As Gunter has Carver in his sights, trying to lap up to 6th here. Think he might come up just a tad short. Oh, and Palumbo and Stearns. I mean, they were side by side as Brody Gunter around the final corner. Across the start-finish line, Brody Gunter takes it at Portland International Raceway. Chad Stearns digging for everything he's got. This is their final corner as they have been lapped by Gunter. Oh, and Stearns has a good run here.
oh, sideways.
Yeah, he just slipped up a bit trying to get the power down. Palumbo will come home in 7th. Stearns will finish in 8th. Here comes Matt Schlosser around his final corner of the night. Matt Schlosser will take home 2nd. And really, tonight, that feels like a win.
The best of the rest.
Josh Bonacek come home in 3rd. Andy Poliski finishes in 4th. Andy Poliski really made a run a little bit there on Bonacek. If there were another 5 laps or so, that could have gotten interesting. John Kay will cross the line in 5th. And Lucas Carver will bring it home in 6th. That will be the last driver that needs to cross the line here tonight. Celebration already underway here for Brody Gunter. This one is well deserved.
News from across the sports world: Vladimir Guerrero hits a home run off Shohei Ohtani. They didn't know they was going to get World Series highlights for this race.
That is shaping up to be quite the series after 18 innings last night.
Oh, goodness. Yes.
As Gunter is going to maybe complete a lap backwards here as his big celebration. might ask him about it in his interview here, but Brody Gunter is going to be making an appearance at New Smyrna, I believe, in the late model coming up. So that will be one to watch in the real life racing world if you're here in our little virtual community.
Brody's going to set the second fastest lap of the night going backwards.
That certainly seems like he could, doesn't it?
It's like SVG drifting his burnout, going faster than like Cody Ware or somebody.
Yeah, that's definitely possible. Alrighty, there's the big Selly for the 01 here. He's going to park it right at the start-finish line. Let's get to your finishing order here tonight. And it will go like this. Brody Gunter, big win here tonight. I cannot say enough. We will talk to him here in just a little bit. We'll also talk to Matt Schlosser, who comes home in second, and Josh Vodacek, able to bring home the podium position. Outside the top three, Andy Poliski will finish in fourth, John Kay in fifth. Lucas Carver battling with John Kay heavily here tonight. He'll come home in sixth. Nate Palumbo, he gets the best of Chad Stearns, fends off the 05 for seventh. Chad will finish there in eighth. Jan Van Leer in ninth. And Garrett Rainey rounds out your top 10. Paul Ellison drives his way from the back all the way to 11th here tonight. In 12th, Kyle Zittel, Corey Rutherford, and 13th, Austin Holyfield, 14th. And rounding out your top 15 is Jack Watts. Outside of that, Josh Freed, Brantley Gainey, Steve Roman, Josh Rutherford, Tyler Berger are your top 20. All of these drivers multiple laps down. Tommy Cook, Eric Breeden, Gary Clark, Andy Ducato, Jordan Jorno, Zach Glock, and RJ Starcevic will be your final finishing order here tonight. I believe those last four were all DNFs here tonight. So we will now look to speak with the podium drivers. This is a little bit more difficult when I have to do everything myself rather than rely on Tommy Cook to drag drivers in and out. But we are going to go ahead and pull third place finisher into the booth. That is Mr. Josh Modacek. Congrats on the podium.
Oh, thanks, guys. First road course podium in the trucks, so I'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like you had pretty good pace in practice, but I don't know, did you just kind of find something there through that first run of the race? It seemed like you just kind of continued to get better and better, especially prior to the pit stop here.
I think the whole race was just finding pace because I purchased and downloaded the track on Saturday and made my outlap and wrecked going down into turn one the first time, and I was like, nope, I'm not dealing with this. So I forgot about it until we get in the session today. So, I mean, I was just, basically the whole race was just me figuring it out.
Well, you certainly did that. I mean, after the pit stop there halfway through the race, I mean, you're trying to run down Matt Schlosser. Schlosser, of course, a very good road course racer here. But then, I mean, towards the end there, Andy Poliski kind of started to catch up to you there. It seemed like if you had maybe a few more laps, could have made it interesting. Was that just tire wear coming into play, or is that just you trying to make sure you got home safely?
Probably a little bit of both. I got a little damage off of a couple of lap trucks just trying to get past. This track was, I mean, just egregiously difficult to pass on. So, I mean, apologies to anybody who I may have gotten into, adjusted their race or whatever, trying to get through lap traffic. But, so, I mean, I had a little damage. I know that if you pop the chicane coming onto the backstretch, that it would eventually give you steering damage as well. So it was a very unique track. Road courses aren't my favorite, but here especially probably is not one of my favorite tracks for sure. But we made it work and ended up bringing it home just fine.
Nathan, you got anything for Josh here?
Oh yeah, I got a real world question. It's been a while since I've got to talk to you, man. How you doing?
Yeah, man, doing great. Just passed the 1 year anniversary last weekend. Of being married to my beautiful wife Bailey. We are settled in a new house. Just cruising on. This season has been a super chaotic one. I've been doing a lot of stuff, super busy, so I haven't been able to practice the way that I wanted. Um, Started out the season. Battling for the lead in points and then just slowly fell back after a few bad races. So hoping to make the chase and make it all right, but looking forward to trying to make it a little bit more interesting for the championship next year.
Haven't done your paint for the charity race. I know a little more about your personal situation there. How is she doing?
She's doing great. Just cruising along. I mean, she's just as chipper um, as anybody else would be. So I mean, she's a champ for sure. Having some bouts with some different medications and stuff, and a few other things. But I mean, with as much as she has, I mean, that's not super unexpected. But God guides us through. So all the praise goes to Him.
Yeah, that's great to hear. Definitely keeping her in her thoughts and prayers, and reach out to us sometime.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, guys.
All righty, man. Well, congrats on the podium again. Let's give you the floor here. Get some shout outs for you before we let you go.
Yeah, shout out to my wife as always. Shout out to my parents for always watching. Shout out to my ASRL teammate and good buddy Damian Dania. He has taught me everything I know about road course racing, no matter what vehicle it's in. So definitely has bumped up my road course racecraft over the summer racing with him. So huge shout out to him. Shout out to the league. Shout out to y'all for jumping in here and filling in different roles while Tommy is out here on track partying hard. So.
Well, we'll use the old adage that you just alluded to. Why don't you go party hard for third place?
That works. Thanks, guys.
All right, see you, man. All righty, that was your third place finisher, Josh Bonacek. Let's now flip it over, and we will pull in your second place finisher. That is Mr. Matt Schlosser. Congrats on the second. Probably feels like a first out here tonight, if I had to imagine.
Yeah, first in class, I think. Non-Gunter class, first in class. So I was glad to bring that second place home overall. But yeah, it was a good race. A lot of fun battling at the beginning, and then got a little quiet, but lap traffic and stuff kept it interesting, and it's a fun track, so it was a good time.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about the car truck combo, and you kind of alluded to the tight track and lap traffic being maybe a little bit more difficult here than some other places. I mean, this isn't your typical road course that you would see in a truck series. I mean, how did you think that this setup fared with the racetrack? And I mean, did it kind of suit what you were looking for? Or I think it was a little bit of a mixed bag of feelings among the drivers tonight.
I was happy with it. Like I thought it was a good setup. I kind of like using first gear in the trucks, but this setup, first gear was really not much of an option. It was a lot of kind of second gear. The twisty section in the middle was kind of like just rolling in second gear and just trying to keep your momentum and speed up. And that was good for saving the tires for sure. It was a good setup. I think if I could only change one thing, maybe the gear a little bit, but that's just me. Honestly, I'd probably be sorry because I'd probably be burning up the tires in first gear, but I thought it felt good and raced pretty good, so I liked it.
Nathan, you got anything for Matt here?
Yeah, just kind of compare to where you guys are in the season now, based off of or compared to how it used to be when I ran, and it was a full season of points, and now you guys have the playoffs. What is your mindset going into a race like tonight, where chances are you're probably racing for a second? Like, what is the goal going into the night? Are you looking to just maximize your points, knowing that they're going to reset after a while, and you're already the points leader? Are you looking to take more risks to possibly get closer to Brody and make something happen, or how do you approach this?
Yeah, I think if I was closer to Brody, I would maybe have tried to push a little bit harder and take some risks, to try to pick up another win. But he was so far ahead that I think that the most logical thing for me was just to maximize the points, and it's never bad to do that, right? Because if something comes up, if I have to miss a couple races, or I have a string of bad luck, which could easily happen, or just don't do my best driving, obviously you can find yourself tumbling down the points pretty quickly. So every point you can get is good to make sure you make the chase. And obviously there's little bumps of bonus based on your seating, so those couple points can really come in handy. So I think today, after the first quarter of the race, realizing I was probably racing for second unless something happened to Brody, it was just making sure I got that. But yeah, if next race if I'm closer to a potential win, I'd probably take some more risks, because it's always awesome to get another win, go for it. So yeah, I think that's probably what I'd be doing.
Right. Momentum's a big thing, even on here, even if it is mainly just a mindset and how you approach things.
Oh, for sure. I mean, if you don't try to maximize every race, then you're not necessarily performing at your highest level. And then when it counts, you might feel a little rusty or unconfident. So yeah, you got to kind of keep it going as much as you can.
Right. Yeah, I just wanted to say I'm a big fan. I generally try to watch every week, whether it's live or afterwards. But I really like your driving style. Very clean racer, very good racer, and hope to see you keep having the success that you have, and become one of the greats here in Venom.
Oh, thanks, man. Very kind words. I appreciate that. Yeah, hopefully I can keep it going and be somewhere in your zip code of records and stats when it's all said and done. But yeah, appreciate the kind words there. Thank you.
Records are meant to be broken. I have no problem seeing your name at the top of those lists.
I appreciate it.
Well, you certainly have quite a bit of momentum going right now, looking to chase another regular season championship. Let's get some shout outs for you before we let you go and get to chase some other wins this season.
Yeah. Thanks to Venom and the league council for hosting everything and putting it together. Congrats to Brody for the win. Shout out to Josh Matichek for his first podium on a road course. Nice job by him. Shout out to Turn 200. Thanks to you guys for covering it in the booth. Shout out to Tommy. Looks like he brought it home in one piece, I think. He was fast in practice. So, I was looking forward to seeing how he did, but shout out to him for running the race. Did he get control of Turn 200 back for doing that, or is it still your under your purview or whatever it is?
Yeah, no, I think it's still under my control. I don't quite think a 21st place is gonna get that secured here tonight. So we'll have another brawl for that here before too long.
Okay, yeah, got to get it in the top 20. But yeah, that's I think that's it. Oh, shout out to the team 939, Zach, Josh, and Chad. And yeah, that's it.
All right, man. Well, thanks for your time. Appreciate it. And congrats on the second place. We'll look forward to speaking with you next week.
All right. Thank you.
All righty. That was Mr. Matt Schlosser. I'm sure we will plug the little series that they have coming up very quickly here as well after the broadcasts are over. But we still need to speak to your race winner, who we will pull up into the booth right now, and that is Mr. Brody Gunter. Congrats on the win. Nobody was even close to you here tonight.
Thank you. Yes, I have to agree.
Well, I mean, that was certainly a can that was opened up on the field here tonight. I mean, I think you lapped up to, I want to say it was 7th place. You almost got Carver there in 6th. I mean, coming into tonight, I mean, I'm sure you obviously knew that you had a lot of pace, probably a lot of confidence coming into the night. When you know you have such a pace advantage, is there any particular way that you are approaching this one as you're about to take the grid? Is it basically just don't crash in the first corner?
I was definitely thinking about all the dumb things I could do, like I've done the past road course races in any league I've run. So, just trying to avoid all of those things. I feel like I did a pretty good job. I mean, I had very good consistent laps. Got the lap cars pretty cleanly. Had one incident in the first chicane where a truck leaving pit lane messed me up, and I got a cutting for it, but immediately cleared it. And then I had a moment where I almost just killed into a wall when turn 3 at the curb, and almost launched to the left. So that was my one and only off track for the night. But other than that, I had a lot of confidence going in, but didn't think it was gonna be this kind of performance. I just knew I had a shot to possibly win, since I am one of the road course favorites, I feel like now. And continue streak, I think, of winning the last 3 NAT road courses we've done. So far, really good road course runs.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I think you've now probably ascended to the very top of the favorites list on the road courses. But I did want to also ask you about some of your real life racing you have coming up. I know there was an announcement about racing at New Smyrna coming up at some point. You want to tell us about that?
Yes, I like how these interviews, turn into the real life. I like it. It's just fun to talk about for those watching and those in the league. But that's how these interviews always go. Yeah, so we're planning to do the what's it called? The prelude to the Governor's Cup at New Simona on November 14th. The Governor's Cup is on November 15th, so I'll be running a pro late model with a different team. I don't think we've announced it yet. I was supposed to make a kind of a post saying it, so I mean, I think sure, why not say it now? We're racing for Ben Kennedy, which is a very well-known name in the racing world. So it'll be awesome to race for that. Having both Tony Yeary Sr. as a crew chief and my teammate being Spencer Davis, a former truck driver. So a lot of big names. I'm definitely the smallest on that list. So I'll try and see if I can get my name out there the best I can. It all kind of came together fairly fast, thanks to some connections. But yeah, definitely looking forward to it, and I'm even more excited for it now.
Yeah, man. Well, I tell you what, we're excited for you. Those are certainly some big names on there, so we'll all be looking forward to that. I'll throw it over to Nathan. You got anything for Brody here?
Yeah, some more real world stuff. I was curious, have you ever run the Legends cars on any road courses? And had you ever considered taking a Legend car and making a long trip up to New Hampshire and running the New Hampshire Roval in the Legends car? We were talking about that during the broadcast, and I was saying that I'd love to see you on that one. I know the Legends cars run that one. I'm not too familiar with what other road courses they may run, but yeah, just curious. Have you ever run those on a road course?
Yes, so actually, yes to both kind of your questions. I have ran in the past, mostly at the Charlotte road course, kind of like the one icing has, both the long layout and the new 2025 Legends road course they just added. So I've ran those for 3 years straight. Didn't get to do it this last season, sadly. I was actually talking to Josh and Corey during this race, saying how I was missing it. Those things are a lot of fun, those road courses, but they're very lightweight, high horsepower, and sequential shifting, just like a NASCAR. So it makes them a lot of fun to drive. It makes good racing, even for a track like Charlotte, which is not a lot of passing. I've also raced them at the Foam down here in Florida, which is actually 10 minutes from my house, the closest track I ever raced at. And yeah, for New Hampshire, a lot of my teammates I had in Legend Cars raced that. It was so far for us that even when they did the nationals there, we just couldn't make the trip up because of cost and put it into other things. But I would definitely look at running it. It looks like a really fun track. I mean, if it's half as fun as on iRacing, it's probably be one of my favorites.
Yeah, I wish NASCAR would run the New Hampshire Oval over the Charlotte Oval. It does look pretty fun. Have you won a road course race in a Legends car?
I have not, sadly. I've been so close. I got 2 poles the last time I did it, and now the 6 races I ran, I actually got 3 podiums and was so close to winning the championship going in like 2, maybe 6 points. And since every spot in the top 6 is like 3 points, I just had to beat the person by like 2 spots. And got wrecked out. Got the pole both the final 2 races, but sadly didn't get it. I think the most disappointing was leading and battling both a Global Mazda podium finisher and a Skip Barber teacher for the win. So really, prestigious and experienced company, and I was battling for it and actually took the lead from both of them until I think 2 to go. The Mazda driver decided to move me out of the way and would later on win the race. So sadly, was so close. That was really frustrating because I've worked, so hard and didn't get the race as much as they do, racing like 2 to 3 to at most that 1 year 6 times over a span of like 2 months, once every year. So it was cool being that close with my, still small amount of experience to those 2 big name, like high experience drivers.
That's pretty awesome. It definitely shows in a situation like tonight. Good win, by the way.
Yeah, I would say there's a lot of things I transfer over to tonight, like the rolling the corners and the braking and knowing kind of when the downshift. So that's a huge advantage I have over all these guys, even though there's times not tonight, but there's times where they really keep me on my toes and push me to try better and do better in the future races.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if you had any snacks or took any bathroom breaks during the race, but I thought we just stick to the real world questions.
Not while I was driving, no.
I may be the only person in Venom still to take a bathroom break during a race.
I've considered it.
Oh, man.
You may have just opened up a challenge for maybe the rest of the field at some point, Nathan.
I think so.
I've definitely done it during an ASR race.
Yeah, I've done it
fields-
during a pit stop at a super speedway or something, like pitting, already being in the back, just going down pit road just to do it. But yeah, I've done it.
All right, guys.
I'll think about it.
Brody, appreciate the time, man. Congrats on the win. It's good to talk to you here about some of your real stuff you got going on as well. But
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, let's get some shout outs for you here before we let you go.
As always, CGI Graphics, Music Productions, Sam's channel, Sobe, Work in Progress, as well as everyone at Venom for showing up tonight, all the admins part on this event, and for you guys at Time 200 for broadcasting this, and to you, Nathan, for hopping on as a broadcaster. I don't know if I've ever raced a race with you as a broadcaster, but it was nice talking to you in the booth tonight.
Yeah, man. You too. Good win.
Thank you.
All right, Brody, appreciate it, man. We'll talk to you later.
All right, talk to you guys later, hopefully.
Alrighty, folks, that was your race winner, Brody Gunter, and now we will pull up let's see here, 21st place finisher, and that will be Mr. Tommy Cook, although I will say that we were watching you put some laps in behind Jan Van Leer, who was in 9th at the time, and obviously the pace that you had did not show in the finish. How was the race in your from your perspective here, partner?
Honestly, it was a pathetic effort. I practiced all week just to lay that hot, steaming dump of a race out on Portland. I picked this race to race for a reason. It's because I think, you and I are going to be racing in this league next year. I think I'm an 8th to 12th place driver in this league. So I came here to finish in that window. I practiced better than that. I qualified in that window. I was running in that window. And it just, I couldn't hack it. That's just the long short of it. I abused the tires, came in, immediately spun out on cold tires and wrecked my car. And that's all it boils down to. It was a bad effort. And I'm quite disappointed. no matter how I feel or how confident I am about my abilities, statistically, I'm a 24th place driver in the Venom Truck Series. That's my average finish. So it's, yeah, it sucks. It's not a great feeling. It's, I don't really have anything good to say. It was not a good night.
Did we just pull John Kay up in the booth?
Well, John Kay finishes good. I don't. That's the difference.
Well, I will tell you that Nathan and I, throughout the night, have been talking about for other drivers as well. Sometimes you have to have these kinds of races to put things in perspective. Maybe gain some experience, put some more practice in. You'll be right where you want to be in no time.
Yeah, I better be, because that sucked.
Alrighty, partner. Well, Nathan, did you have anything for Tommy before we kind of get to our closing remarks here?
Oh man, you put me on the spot here. I didn't have anything prepared. No, I don't.
That's A-okay.
I wouldn't either. Don't worry.
Alrighty, well, let's get your thoughts on the night overall. I mean, obviously it was a whooping from Gunther up at the front. But what'd you think of the night overall? I think there were maybe some question marks coming into this one.
Oh yeah, you never know what to expect when you go to a track that's new, never raced on before, and in particular it being a road course, it just seems to be one of those types of races that there's always question marks, even if it's a road course that you're returning to. But yeah, I mean, everybody just racing for what real estate they had after they got strung out. A lot of good battles. I really, like I said, I made the comment in the race that I thought there was a lot of good battles on track, and it seemed to be more than what I'm used to seeing in the past at other road courses. So, and that's with everybody who we interviewed saying how hard it was to pass. So that's really surprising, even more surprising. But I think overall a really clean night. Everybody, for the most part, seemed to keep the truck going in the right direction. A few off tracks. But I think overall a really good night from a league standpoint for a very difficult track.
Yeah, I would agree. I think overall it was a good night. I mean, obviously, some drivers are going to have their issues for sure, but yeah, I mean, shout out to all the drivers that came out. 27 drivers at a road course that most probably aren't all that familiar with. I mean, that was a great turnout and good stuff from the drivers here tonight. A lot of good battles throughout the night as well. So shout out to the drivers. Shout out to everybody that was in the chat here tonight as well. Of course, Bailey Monicek getting some shout outs from her husband, Joshua there. The shout out to the Monicek fam as always. Shout out to Joshua Rutherford, Jeremy McKinnon, Jordan Jorno, Nate, cheering on Zach Lockett, who unfortunately retired early out of this one. He'll be looking to do a little bit better next week. Shout out to Ryan Dye at State Line Sim Racing, Tyler Bergert, Eric Breeding, and Robin Monicek as well. Thanks everybody for tuning in, chatting with us here tonight. Greatly appreciate it. We have some more coming up for you this week. The Daredevil series is back tomorrow night, and that will be at Dover. That will be an interesting one. I know the setup has been worked on extensively, and I think a lot of the drivers are excited and ready for it as well. So we'll be looking for Dover tomorrow night. I believe it's 7 Central is about when that one will go up live for everybody. So be sure to tune in for that one. And then on Thursday night, Tommy, where are we at on Thursday?
It's the regular season finale on Thursday at Richmond for the Max V CNC Home Designs Truck Series. That one will kick off at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Time. Things could not be tighter at the cut line. You think it's tight here with it being a tie? How about it's about 6 drivers under a blanket for the final 2 spots? It's really going to be something going a little short track racing on Thursday night.
Yeah, gotta love a cutoff race at a short track with everybody stacked up. A little bit like NASCAR was at Martinsville this last week. Everybody having to go for that big win. So, yeah, tune in for that on Thursday, and then we'll be right back here on Tuesday night. We are going to be at Kansas on Tuesday night, 134 laps around the Kansas Oval. So, be sure to tune in for that one. A shout out again to all the drivers and our podium finishers here tonight. That's going to do it for us here at Turn 200. Shout out to Nathan Reynolds for hopping in here for his appearance in the booth here tonight while Tommy was out gallivanting on the road course. Appreciate the insight, partner. Always great to get to talk to you. Yeah, let's get some claps in there for Nathan. Appreciate it, partner. Tommy, shout out to you for putting that out on the racetrack here tonight. You put it all out there. You had the pace. I think you can be proud of the pace that you had throughout the night. Just didn't quite roll your way. So we'll be sure to get him in season 11, partner. Don't you worry. So that's gonna do it for us here tonight. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and shout out to Brody Gunter. Congratulations on the big win here tonight. Lapped all the way up to 7th place at the Portland International Raceway. Good night, everybody.
This has been a live broadcast on Turn 200. Be sure to hit subscribe and hit the bell to get notified of when we go live next. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you again soon.